This is a Les Paul Studio Gibson, and it is a genuine Studio Gibson. Couple of the little tricks to look for is to make sure that this bar is never equal to or below that volume control. You see those little studs coming up, they're rounded at the top. It's another little thing to look for. These are supposed to be 1957 make style Gibson pickups. I'm sure they are. The other thing to look for is the size of the casino coin and the writing on it. A lot of the ones that I've seen that are fake, the writing on them's terrible, which you can tell. The Georgia girl's coming up. The mother of pearl inlays, if any of them are never parallel or ragged or edgy, then be suspicious. They should be really high quality and sharp and clean and clear. Another thing is the neck, to feel the neck to see if there's any edges. It gets a little bit edgy down there, but I can understand that because that's very difficult down there. You don't need to look for nibs on every guitar, but some of the Gibson have nibs to cover the frets. The other little aspect is the truss rod, always 2 screws, never 3. And the writing at the top should be, well, you can tell if it's a fake because it's always a little bit fatter or slightly off, but it's easy to pick up a Gibson fake. The quality of them is just not really as good. And this is a genuine 2010 Gibson. Got pots, tone pots that pull on both. I have to check this out and get it set up. The other thing to look for on the back is, back's nice there, the neck's great, and the tuners are perfect. Now, Gibson put the serial number on some of these guitars buried. You can barely see it, and it's made in USA. It's not always on them, not always on the Gibson one, but it's usually buried. But it's often on the Gibson, but not always on the Gibson. And the number tells you the batch number and the year it's made, which is 2010. So all in all, this is in lovely shape. It's worth about £1,000 to £1,200, and it's in such good shape that you'll get that for it. Now I have to clean it up. There's a little mark here. I'm hoping that might be removed. I'm not going to play with that yet. And all I have to do is clean it up. Let me look at the frets. Frets are nice and clean. They just need to be polished. It hasn't been played for a long time, as you can see from the state of the strings that are black. And the fretboard, I think, just needs a clean and some oil on it. So overall, oh, and there's one major piece of damage. That little screw there has got a corner missing, which I just happen to have sitting there, which I'm going to repair and try to make it look invisible. There it is in there. Okay, so we'll get stuck into the overhead camera to see what we can see. Hopefully it'll all be working lovely. Right, first thing to do is get the... No, the first thing to do is give Georgia girl a cuddle. Sorry, pause. Well, that was a very short cuddle. She didn't really want a cuddle. She just didn't want me talking to you lot. She hit me there because she's cross. Don't be cross. The studio guitars were meant just for that. The Gibson studio guitars were meant for working musicians in a studio that didn't need all the fancy tricks, but needed a range of sounds for the studio. So those are all, they're actually all still a little bit tight, so I'm going to use my machine. This is the 2010 range. I actually think they're better quality than the ones that are more recent, and the ones from the 80s and, well, 90s. I think the 90s ones weren't just as good a quality. But then again, that's subjective, because there's not a lot of people paying lower prices for 90 ones are paying more prices for 90 ones. But I just like the 2010 series better. Look how easy that slips off. So you can tell, because sometimes you have to fight for those to slip off. I'm going to clean all that and put that one on upside down so it doesn't slide down the body. And get rid of the guitar strings. Georgie girl goes daft. Sorry, Georgie girl. These are going to go in the bin rolled up. Right, that's it. Oh no. She would jump up and climb up me madly, not even thinking that I am made of flesh and blood. Look, she's running around and running around trying to get them, and I'm having to spin round to keep out of her way. Look, you put the camera out of focus now. Look there, go and play with it on the floor. Right, let's just check the neck. Let's just see what we got. Oops, sorry, my mistake. That's not right yet. The neck is got a slight underbow on it. It's just the way I like the underbow. So there's nothing to do with that, not to touch. Although I will check it again when I put the new strings on, because sometimes if the truss rod isn't touching one side of the truss rod or another, or it's not equalized, it can bend the strings too much. So let's I think what I'm going to do next is fix that little bit of damage there, and I don't think you really care to see that. Well, I'll probably do it anyway, but I'll take it off first. Oh, that's loose. So I have to take that off to find out why it's loose. So anyway, okay, let's do that. And you don't mind, I'll just let it sit there, and I'll do it this way. And hopefully it'll stay in tune. You will stay in tune. Did I say stay in tune? I meant stay in focus. But you see what's happening here now? With the white background, there's no sharp edges to catch the focus, the automatic focus. So it's doing quite well. I'll move these out of the way just so that there's less chance of the focus going out. So the focus is sort of concentrating on the bit that it can see best. So it was a mistake all along for me to have just looking at this, make sure it's done. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, you can stay there and there. Actually, I'll put you back on again, because all I'm going to do with this is clean it and put on a happy face. No, I'm not going to put on a happy face. Miserable happy face. Let me just see. Gray skies are going to clear up. How am I going to glue that? Right, there's the corner piece. And it looks like it's so easy to put it back together again, doesn't it? It could be if my hand is steady enough. I tell you what I'll do. Let's use this stuff that I'm constantly bragging about. And you don't get to see my bald head, no. Now, I'm going to zoom you down on that. And hopefully you'll get to see it the way I'm seeing it. I don't know whether you will or not. But there's fracture lines all on the edges there. So, and there's fracture lines there and there. So when that dries, I'm going to turn it over and maybe use this paper just strengthen those fracture lines so we don't lose that. Although you can buy those things from Gibson themselves for about £7. Still far too dear, but at the same time, who would make one like that? I want to try to keep it original, so I'm going to let that sit for a little while because I want it to be solid. I'm going to cry. I spent 48 quid on a Rode microphone to try to improve the sound quality of the camera, and you put it up there and you just talk into it. And I just did a test on it, and this is like talking to someone through a tin can, so compared to the camera's mic. So yeah, maybe I should have spent 148 quid or 248 quid, but I don't have it. Anyway, right, so this, I'm going to check the neck to make sure the frets are all leveled and make sure they're all nice and happy and we don't have to do anything to them. And I'm going to speed through this. Surprising. It has some fret leveling to be done. That one. And that one. And that one. And that one. And that one. These are all a little bit rocky down here. Because it's a Gibson Les Paul, I'm being fussy. So what I'm going to do is check the neck straightness again to make sure that I saw what I saw the first time. And that was a straight neck. So let me get down onto it again. Yeah. It's a straight neck, okay. It is a straight neck. I'm seeing a little bit of an underbow just in those frets, but that could be just a difference in the fretboard. So these are going to need to be leveled, surprisingly. Although, what am I surprised at? So that and that. Let me just mark them. That there, and that one the whole way across. And just feel the edges. I feel good. So we've got some frets there and there that need to be leveled. So I'm going to pause to get ready for the leveling. So I bought me some emery, or is it sandpaper in a strip? But what I'm going to do, I bought it for that size of thing, I'm going to double side tape it onto there and then use it as a block. So that's the double sided tape that you use on sticking down carpet tiles and stuff like that there, and I'm going to put this on. Now I haven't done this before, so let's just hope it works the way I want it to. And then I just slice it off. Hopefully. Is this emery cloth? Or, oh, this is emery cloth. I thought it was sandpaper. It's emery cloth. So that's the double-sided tape down the sides. It's just ripped my sheet. But that should give me a flat surface. to do is use my file just to round off them, and then I'll give the whole fretboard a polish. Some tape down on just in case I slip. Somebody's emailing me. Oh no, it's text.
Tessa Barrett sent an image and said, photo, 5 events in a row, cat at the window again.
I installed a Ring doorbell, and the cat next door jumps up on the windowsill and sets off the Ring doorbell. Fortunately, my ex loves it, and so she thinks it's really cute. So I put that over just in case I hit it with the file, which I don't want to do, obviously. So I'm going to pause now, turn the guitar around and do the other side. Pretty good. Now I'm going to put an eraser on them. An eraser or a rubber, what do you call them? Erasers, yes. And where are they? I'm going to have to pause. I think they're in the other room. Okay, I'll pause. Okay, simple little thing. I fixed that corner, but I have some fiberglass tape which I put on the back and glued on the tape to make sure those corners are okay. Now I just have to cut out the circle. I won't cut out the circle for the screws because you won't see them. I'll just put the screws in. But I'll cut out that circle, and that looks pretty good, and then put it on. Alright, I'll not bother doing that on camera. Time to put this back on. This worked really well, putting the fiberglass on the back, because you see, trying to pull away the fiber from that's super glue has really gone to town on putting that on. And I tell you, that's a little tip that I think I'm going to use in future. Right, here's another little tip that I'm going to use in future. Where's the 4th screw? Bloody Nora. What the hell? Right, okay. So it's like, where's the 4th screw? I'm only going to put one of them on because that's too many, which was original. And the brass on the outside and the bolt. And then I'm going to look for the 4th screw. I've got hundreds of screws, so I'm not worried about it. These things are always fiddly. Simple, tiny little job, but they can be really fiddly. There you go. And especially when you lose the screw, that's nice and tight. Why is that bouncing about in the middle like that? Ah, there's the other screw. What an idiot. That's why it's bouncing about. You saw that all, didn't you? You were watching, but you didn't tell me. You were laughing at me. You buggers, you. I know your type. You're sitting there laughing at me. Look at him, look at him. this down. Now the pain in the butt of this is going to be cleaning it, because it seems like it's just a simple thing to clean it, but I've already done the frets. The frets look a little bit... Did I oil them? I can't remember, did I oil them? See that little bit of wear and tear there, and a little bit of wear and tear there, you can see that. I don't want to scrape them, but if I scrape one, you've got to do the whole lot. But I want to avoid scraping them, so what I'm going to do, it's nice and smooth and everything, what I'm going to do, I found my rubbers. Boy, I spent ages searching for the rubbers. I've got the rubbers, they're fret rubbers, and I'm going to do them. I'm going to use them, but I'm going to use them now before I do anything more. The fretboard looks dull. So what I'm going to do, just to give it that little bit of special, is rub some high build guitar finishing oil on it and take it off right away. Must order some more. I think it's about 20 quid though. All money, money, money. Thank you again. Strat Pack bought me some strings and a little toy for Georgia Gob. Really was impressed with that. I think I've said that already. I'm repeating myself, but I really liked it. Nice thought. Nice gesture. Now, I've checked everything else. I need a nice clean cloth for the body. Although I'm not that fussy on cleaning the bodies, but in this, because I let the owner clean the body, but because me cleaning it, by the time you see fingerprints and stuff like that there, I get your finger. Anyway, I'll leave that there and we'll stick these on now. I must show you, those little dots are a bit of a nuisance. There are some little bits, and there's a little sort of dit there. I must show it to you on the other camera just to let you see what I'm talking about, so as you know so as you don't think I'm going dozy. Let me just see where you can. Where is it? Yeah, you can see it there. You can't see it until I get into focus. Get into focus, you little. Even the iPhone there. Those little dots, they're annoying. But anyway, nothing you can do about them. So life goes on. And let's get this in tune. And I'm going to speed this up. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to have a little cup of tea and I'll come back and finish off the tuning, check the intonation, play a little tune, clip off the wires, and then send this back to Daddy. Good pickups, eh? Hello everybody. I'm growing my beard back by popular demand. The girls said I was too sexy without the beard. Now they're saying I'm too sexy with the beard. They can't make up their mind. Keep chasing me. Anyway, Gibson Les Paul. It's going home. It's got everything done to it. It needs to be done. Didn't do. Mostly the fretboard was the thing that needed to be done. And that little tiny thing at the bottom getting fixed. But overall just needed a good clean. There was some glue stuck there. But everything's set now and it sounds lovely. If I could play it. Action is excellent. I don't think you can see the action, but the action is excellent. I've adjusted all the intonators, as you probably saw, but I sped through it, and I adjusted the height. Need a little bit. The neck is still perfect. I'm glad to say that just that little bit of tightening made it right. So I'm very pleased with it. Georgie girl wanted to get in the act there, didn't she? Now what about my favorite chord? Well, I always end on that. Outside there. Hello outside. Right, it's going home. Say goodbye to it. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.